Preparing to live stream. Preparing to live stream. Preparing to live stream. Setting it up. Blobbity boppity bop.
So, nice.
Boppity boppity bop.
It's just live streaming on my end.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're live streaming. Oh shoot, let me just fix the view. Oh, okay, that's better. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Oh man, what the heck am I getting? All right, make sure your phone's off. Mine's not. Oh, okay, it's just some fucking blog. All
Doesn't
right,
matter.
man. Are you ready to podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. On three. One, two, a one, two, three, four. What's up, faders? Welcome to yet another action-packed episode of Got Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Tom Tokyo. I'm back for more.
That's right. And as you fine folks know, Got Faded Japan is about two dudes, booze.
And in the news, I think we're doing spooky this time because it's Halloween.
That's right. We're doing spooky stories this time. And faders, let's see. This is episode number 578.
Yes.
Okay, that's correct. All right, awesome, Tom. All right, Tommy, and welcome back to the show, man. We missed you. And how are you doing in this all Halloween season?
Right now, I'm all right, man. It's like I think some birthdays are coming up though.
Yeah, your son's got a birthday on the 28th. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like day after yours, man. That's wild, isn't it?
It is pretty wild, man. I can't believe it's my birthday again, dude. Another year goes by. Ay, 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 ay. What have I done? Actually, quite a bit. But oh man, this next year, oh God, I've got so many projects lined up. I'm looking forward to it, but not looking forward to it. But one thing that I am looking forward to is podcasting with you tonight, man, because we've got a lot of crazy stuff on our plate. Tom, what are we going to do in this episode? Got Faded Japan.
Well, actually, since getting in the Halloween spirit, I believe we're gonna tell some spooky stories about Japan. So, do you
Ooh,
want
that's right.
to
So,
dive?
faders, yes. So, faders, Tom gathered three spooky stories about Japan. Tom, are these traditional stories or ancient stories, or what kind of stories are these?
I've got a couple from personal experience, and I've got one that actually is about a friend. It's about a spooky place that you can visit in Japan.
Really? Okay, so we okay, so I thought you were gonna do like three traditional like stories, so, like kind of like a Goldilocks kind of story, or a story about like leprechauns or something like that.
No, you actually asked me because I brought this up, but like one of them was like you wanted me to bring like a story about like spooky places that we never because I think you asked me about this like a while ago, and we never got around to due to scheduling conflicts and just stuff going on. But I do have one that I think actually, yeah, we'll just start with this one and see what you think about this. This is a real life spooky place that you could visit in Japan, and I mentioned this because one of my friends did it. Quick question: do you know
Okay.
what urbex is?
What, Urban
Have you ever heard
Explorers?
of? Yes. So
Yeah.
you've heard of it before? Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's like the haunted well, I guess there's like a haunted apartment building. It's like this huge mega apartment building that's right down the street from where I live.
Uh-huh.
And there's like maybe 500 like empty apartments that's like right over there. It's like this huge massive place that's been empty since like 1998 or something, and it's just falling apart and it's all like decrepit and stuff. And every so often you'll see people walking around out there, and I'm like, urban explorers or homeless people living there. I do not know, and I don't want to find out.
So you never checked it out for yourself?
No, I'm not going to do that, man. Hell no, dude. Dude, I'm in my where I am in my life. I'm not at the point where I'm going to go to like an abandoned house and fall through like the floorboards, dude. That's something that, like all young people do in the Detroit area, like way back in the I mean, I'm sure kids still do that, but it's just like, man, when I was a kid, actually, we used to like go to raves And then after raves or before raves, like, we'd walk outside and we go to industrial park or something or the Packard plant and like explore out there. But man, that is super, super dangerous. Like, I mean, you get shot, robbed, murdered, or just like I said, you'll just fall through the floorboards and nobody will ever see you ever again.
Yeah, I've heard pretty like because I've done a little bit of it like urban exploring, but like nothing crazy.
Really?
But like,
Oh
man,
man.
the, the reason we did like one, it's not even like real crazy. We walked home is in northern Saitama, and we like I think it was like an actual temple that had been abandoned, but we snuck into it. We like climbed over the wall, and yeah, it'd been abandoned. You could see like old kimonos and fabric and hang out that had just then they're left to rot. It was kind of cool, but
Really?
we didn't get to poke around very much because I was staying with I was blowing my phone up, going, "Dude, come on, I gotta poop." I'm like, "No, man, this is cool." But yeah, it's not that big a deal. But no, one of my friends got like really hardcore into it. He did a bunch of different stuff. But I'll actually, I think I'll read this. This is a pretty well written article, and I know I couldn't get pictures from it because it was so long ago I couldn't find it. But this is like somebody else who explored it that I found. We go
Mhm.
spooky places. Mount Fuji's mysterious underground vault. The underground vault, Haikyo, in the shadow of Mount Fuji, is one of the strangest abandoned structures I've explored yet. A double-door, double-walled, walk-in safe with triple combination locks buried in a man-made mound in an unpopulated and obscure part of Japanese countryside. Now its thick and weighty doors hang open and loose, and there's nothing in the vaults but for five odd logos slash symbols on the wall, and know the clue as to what purpose it has been dedicated in the kanji on the top structure of the dome in memory of our ancestors, it says. I stumbled upon this bizarre spot by accident after exploring the nearby resort hotel. It was already getting late, the light was fading, and I almost passed the whole complex by in favor of getting an early train home. But I'm glad I didn't, though, as buried between the two spa ryokan building, ryokan's traditional Japanese inn, and mossed over tennis courts, it was a petite extravagance.
Ooh.
At first, I headed over to the tennis courts, shot through the reeds, and then when heading back to look over in the main buildings, I saw the dome. It's fairly wide and also bordered with rushes. I stepped out on the top and wondered what on earth was going on. So the kanji dedication and figured it was just somebody's idea of a memorial. I climbed into the nearby building and explored there. I'll post about that next. From the roof, though, I could look down on the dome and see that there was an actually open entrance. Actually, there was an open entrance into it. I heard on down. Dory led down into the dome, down a short, sheer concrete wall, lichened green, with some light flowing in through the nearby reinforced glass tiles in the ceiling. I turned the corner and was shocked to see the safe door hanging halfway open. I went to give it a tug. It was very heavy, but it opened
Whoa.
smoothly as if oiled. Inside there was empty space, and inside there was another safe with thick walls. This one was open too.
Whoa.
On the inside, five strange logos slash symbols on the wall. Asked lots of Japanese people if they recognize any of these, but nobody does. What are they? The central design. The red sun's grinning looks like something cultish. The blue one looks like a bank's logo. The others on top maybe one kanji for a winter, and the right one says big one. Now, to the left, I have no idea. Do you know what these are? Is it possibly a suicide cult? But there was nothing
Ooh.
that said inside. I didn't want to step too
Ooh.
further in or linger too long out of some irrational fear that someone or something might slip up behind me and slam the locks with all the safes closed and lock me inside. That I'd be trapped inside the scenario from the Saw movies, left in some hideous choice for survival. I didn't linger. So yeah, so this is a pretty popular travel article. I guess I don't know this guy, but I guess he's a seasoned urban explorer, I guess you would say. But yeah, my friend actually went and did this, and he had an interesting experience as well. I'll tell you the story. They invited me to go on this, but I didn't go because, and I hate to say it, like the guy he was going with, this guy Nick, I just don't like him, and I don't know why, because he's some weird hippie guy, and he's super nice, but he just like something about him just creeps me out. So no, I didn't want to go with them. But
Ah, hippies.
I know, right? It could have been cool.
Yeah.
I know, but like yeah, this is what he said. He said so like this is traditional Japanese and it's pretty massive. He said like they went exploring and that. and like I guess it just like suddenly shut down to the point where like they're even like how to say like they had a bar. There were just bottles just like left over. They just like left the booze.
Hmm.
And I think what
Well,
else? Oh, the whole overrun by feral cats. They don't like mess with you, but at the same time, you just walk in, there's just like felines, especially in the dark. You know, their eyes reflect, so it's like clink, clink, clink. And they
mhm,
actually stayed the
mhm.
night over there. They just like opened up a door because all the doors were like unlocked and open, and just like camped out in whatever room. But then they went into the vault too, and they were like, "What is this?" Because it looks like weird cultures. They think about this massive vault with these like five strange symbols that nobody can recognize.
Mm-hmm.
All
It's probably
right,
a
so I,
cult.
I've, I've, I've done enough, and there might have been some other stuff in there, but yeah, but anyway, so I've done enough talking. So I've read this story to you, Joe. So Johnny, in your expert opinion, because you've been here a long time as well, like you've been here long enough to be like an expert in all things weird in Japan. What is your take on this? What do you think?
Um, okay. I think that this is probably either an old bomb shelter or it was some kind of a resort that was really big in the 1980s, but then after the bubble, it just closed down immediately and actually peppered all over Japan, especially in the rural areas. There's tons of huge resorts, like massive ski resorts and like beach resorts and just resorts in the mountains that just like completely closed after the bubble. Like the bubble in Japan was massive. You have no idea. Like in the 80s and 90s, like early 90s, Japan was just flowing with money. I mean, it was like a waterfall of money everywhere from the north to the south to the west to the east. And I mean, people were just building things. They were just building like hotels, resorts, beach resorts, all sorts of cool stuff, right? But then once the bubble burst, all construction stopped. People stopped going on vacation so much, and all these places just dried up. And then there's actually quite a few like abandoned like towns, like ghost towns peppered all over Japan and stuff. They're getting bigger and bigger and more decrepit and old and stuff. So I mean, if you're an urban explorer, I mean, there's just so many places to go to. But I'll tell you what, one place where you should never ever go to is Fukushima. Right now, there's a boom of urban explorers coming to Japan and going to Fukushima and videotaping their tours and stuff. And if you go to YouTube, you can see tons of people doing this. And I swear to God, these people in the next 5 years, all of their body parts are gonna fall off. Their dicks are gonna be fucking falling off
What?
left, right, and
The
center. Because the thing is, there's videos of these guys. Oh, dude, it's bad. It's like like imagine the Toxic Crusader. These guys are all gonna look like the Toxic Crusader, if not worse, because they're in the red zone, right? And they get their little Geiger counters or whatever that which are extremely blown up. It's like they're like, oh man, this is so dangerous. And then they're like picking up Gundam robots and stuff and going to like anime stores and they're playing with the pachinko machines. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, A, being there is so very bad. B, it's hyper illegal. And C, you are getting cancer so much. You're getting so much cancer. You're going to get like cancer, AIDS, hepatitis, syphilis cancer. It is going to be mega cancer. You guys are Oh my God. So, I mean, urban exploring is fun when you're young and stuff. And I'm sure it's kind of cool now, but the thing is, it's just like if you are going to do that, if you are going to do that in Japan, whatever you do, do not go to Fukushima. Stay away from the danger zone. If you want to check it out, just go to YouTube and watch some fucking videos. But whatever you do, just do not go there because oh my God, it is so dangerous. It is so dangerous. And they're videotaping themselves being like, "Oh my God, this is so dangerous." And they're touching stuff. And I'm like, "You guys are screwed. You guys are dead. You're watching a video on YouTube of like six people who are already dead and they don't even know it."
like I went up. Keep in mind, I went in there volunteered shortly after it happened. But I'm friends with some people that are like were like first responders, and like as far as I know, nobody's got cancer yet. So I don't know, maybe
Well, it's
possibly,
in
but
the danger
I
zone. I don't know.
would stay. I would recommend staying away from the red zone. Those places are abandoned, and the government says keep out for a reason.
True.
Yeah. Wait, did they have radioactive boars running around? So like
Yeah.
Fallout's big right now, especially since the video games have always been big, but now it's more mainstream. It's had a very highly successful TV show. So I don't know, man. Maybe they're wanting some Fallout. Maybe they want to get turned into a ghoul or something. I don't know, man. It's wacky stuff. But
Maybe.
anyway, to log it back on topic. Oh, also, like, I will back up what you're saying. Also, there's a lot of wild stuff from the '80s. So, because like what you're saying is like 100% correct. In the '80s, like think about it, man. Like Japan was at that time was still the second largest economy in the world, but
Yeah.
like proportional wise, Japanese had way more money in Americans in the heyday, man. They were like way richer because I think it's like what less than a third of America, America's population, and like all that money. Yeah, but that obviously didn't. That obviously wasn't going to last. But yeah, there's some pretty nutty stuff. There's like one up north. I think there's like some theme parks and like amusement parks that got closed down. They're just kind of like sitting there rotting. Nature's reclaimed it. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
there's some very very wild stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, dude, I was just in Izu about what 3 weeks ago, and I was painting at an old like kind of like it was like the Disneyland before Disneyland came to Japan. And it's like this place, this kind of amusement park and stuff. And yeah, they had a bunch of old rides and trains and stuff. And they had like this huge mega jungle gym, which is about the size of my apartment building. And they had like this Roman bath that was underground, and they had like all sorts of crazy stuff. And it was still functional, but you could tell it's from the 80s and they're just barely holding on. Yeah, man, there's a lot of really cool stuff if you just get out of Tokyo, man. I for all you faders out there, I highly recommend that you get out of Tokyo and explore some like the weird old stuff that's out there. I mean, there's so much to explore and see, you know. Get out of Tokyo. Tokyo.
yeah. Well, like I said, last winter, one of my friends like came to Japan for his like 10th time, and he's still finding stuff to do.
Oh
Like,
yeah, of
obviously not all of it's in Tokyo though, but yeah. But
course.
let's circle back to get back on the topic. So I read that wild, wacky story about like here's what it is like, and like my buddy had been wondering about this like for what it actually was. And update: we've since learned that the main logo belonged to a securities company called Sanyo, not the same one that produces tech. Lee of Tokyo Times unearthed a Sanyo company magazine bearing their logo in a nearby part of what is clearly the resort complex. The safe would have doubtlessly held important company papers, stocks, bonds, and etc. It was probably a bit of a vanity thing to keep it to themselves in such a location, but I'm sure they impressed their investors. Okay. Okay. Additionally, the red-faced logo in the center was surely put up there by another Haikyo employee. Seen this, the same thing in many Haikyo around Ono, Japan. It's an explorer's calling card, I guess. So yeah, so
Yeah.
another somebody else put it up there. So yeah. So
Cool, cool.
I don't know if that's like as cool, or I don't know if it's a letdown or if it's anticlimactic. But well, listeners, faders, we'll let you be the judge of that. But still, like, yeah, it's pretty wicked. I'll forward you the story, and you can share some of the pictures because they're interesting. I don't know if we're really doing it justice on audio only. You know.
Yeah, just post on Facebook.
Anyway, you got any scary stories, Johnny? Or you tag teaming?
Scary stories in Japan. The scariest story in Japan. You know, I mean, I've had a lot of close calls in Japan. I scary stories. I don't really have scary. I don't really scare too easily, but I did go to a death room once.
What's that?
I did go to a death room once.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Okay, get this. All right, my wife and my in-law and I, maybe about 7 years ago, we were driving up to like the shore of Niigata, right? My wife lives, she's from Niigata, right? So we're visiting our in-laws, and we went to the shores, right? And went to this big fish market just to check it out and buy some fish or whatever. And her father decided to take the scenic route back. And as he was taking the scenic route back, he's like, "Oh, Johnny, there's like this really, really old shrine slash temple that's right up here and stuff. It's very, very ancient in Niigata. Do you want to check it out?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So he pulls up and we get out of the car, and it's like one of those old shrine, old temples in the middle of nowhere that's like where monks live or whatever. But there's like no tourists. There's the locals only go there on the 1st of January and stuff. And so, I mean, it was like very peaceful and just like, I mean, quiet. I mean, it was like super quiet and it was kind of in the middle of nowhere, which is awesome. So we went there and we went to the front and stuff, and a monk came out and we're like, hey, can we get a tour of the place? And he's like, yes, but you have to give me 500 yen. And we're like, sure, 500 yen. Yeah. So we gave him 500 yen and he gave his really, really wonderful tour of this shrine slash temple. And the thing is, it didn't look that big at front and when you looked at it at the front of it, but it was like really, 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 really long. It was like incredibly long. It was like kind of massive, right? So we're going in there and we're checking out all these rooms and stuff where they have all these instruments and all just like, just like temple stuff, whatever, at praying rooms, whatever. And there's and then in the middle of the shrine, they have these like kind of like golden steps. Like they're like it was like kind of like the staircase that went up to this door with a big red door, right? And I was like, huh, that's interesting. There's a second floor. What's up there? And he goes, oh, that's you can't go up there. It's a very special place. And I'm like, being kind of like a smart ass, I was like, well, we paid for the tour and I really want to see what's in there. And so my wife goes up to him and she starts talking to him. And she's like, hey, listen, he's a foreigner and he really wants to check it out and stuff. And my wife's kind of in on it too. And so the guy's like, okay, but you got to pay me more. So we're like, all right, cool. So we give him, like, think like an extra like 500 yen each, right? And so he's like, okay, you can come up here, but you can't really talk and you can't take photos and don't touch anything. And I was like, hell yeah, sounds like my kind of a place. So anyway, we go up these stairs. He opens up the red door and we walk in and it's this room that was kind of like, it wasn't like a pyramid, but it was kind of like a triangle, right? So like the walls were inverted in like this. And it was so deep. I mean, it just went on and on and on and on and on, kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, that last scene. And so it just went on. And anyway, we walk in there and it was crazy because all the walls were gold and the floor was like red velvet, right? And it was cold. It was really, really cold in this room. And on all the shelves, and I mean, all the walls, there are shelves. Like there's like a shelf on top of a shelf on top of a shelf on top of a shelf, right? And then so basically these shelves went from one side of like the wall all the way down to the very far back, right? And on every one of these shelves was maybe, I don't know, maybe 150 urns, right? So it's like an urn after 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 an urn. Level of shelf on top of level of shelf on top of level of shelf on top of level of shelf. There must have been like maybe like 3,000 urns, right? And then in the middle of this room was like another pyramid kind of like base thing, right? And this base thing had like shelves on it too, and they were also covered with urns. So we were in there with like thousands of just like urns, dead bodies, right? And the whole place was cold. Like it was like really cold, like as if there's like we're walking into some kind of like a cooler. But this is like kind of like when was it? I think it was fall or something, and it was like much colder than the rest of like the whole area, way colder than outside, right? Which means, they say when the temperature goes down, that's when ghosts are there. I think there's like 1,000 ghosts in this room, and it was crazy. And another crazy thing about this was in the middle of this weird ass David Lynch room, there's like a big drum, like this big leather drum with all these Japanese symbols on it and all these things. It was like this decorative drum that looked more Chinese than Japanese. And then it had this big golden chair that was right next to the drum, as if somebody sat in this big kind of like Conan-esque throne and like drummed. Dun, 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 dun. But why would there be a big, massive drum with a big golden throne in this David Lynch death room? I have no idea, and I didn't ask the guy about it. And we just went in there and we looked around, and then my wife said, "Let's get the hell out of here now." And I was like, "All right, let's go." I mean, I had my fill of it, but still, I mean, that was crazy. That was the craziest thing I've seen in Japan. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. And granted, it's not as crazy as like hookers blowing blow darts at each other or something on stage or something like that, which I've also seen. But I mean, it was like creepy, scary, and uniquely special, spooky, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, so I guess that's my spookiest story so far.
All right. I'll tell this is probably the most scared I've ever been. I'll tell you about.
Wait,
I
did
don't,
you
I don't
take an
think
AIDS test?
that's scary though. was a little bit worried about a few of those STD tests. But no, I'll tell you about like I don't think I've told you this story. I don't think I've told this one in the air either. I'm not sure why,
Oh.
but like my second day in Japan.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean,
Second day in Japan, like what, 2007?
yeah, dude, that would have been a long time ago. That would have been 21 years ago. Actually, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, so we got 27th is your birthday, 28th is my son's birthday, 29th is my anniversary in Japan when I first moved here. So 21 years.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, so yeah, oddly, that would have made it Devil's Night, which makes the creepier. All right. So anyway, the story is like moving in Japan, everything's sorted out, like works, everything, like visa, everything sorted out. So on the flight, come over, have a good time, blah blah blah. I'm all excited, I'm amped up. Yeah, I did it. I'm gonna live in Japan. It's gonna be so cool. Blah, 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 blah. Then get to Japan and like immediately like the group found me. Like I was put on a bus and I was sent to like a business hotel. And because like I'm a huge guy and I can't sleep and I was massively jet lagged, so they just like shuffled me up to a hotel and I was like out, like just like as soon as my head hit the pillow. So that's the first night. Next day, I woke up, like talked to a few people that were in our group, and then we all got separated because we all got our assignments, right? So like we all got hustled off to the train. Had like a quick breakfast and got hustled off to like train station, and they're just like, here's like an information packet, and here's a ticket, and here's what train you're supposed to get off. This is in Osaka, so Shinkansen, go down to
Hmm.
Shinjuku or go down to Kyushu, right?
Yeah.
And then, like get there, and this all goes off with a hitch, and I was able to get off at the right, train station. Dude comes up to me, like another guy comes up to me, finds me, grabs me, directs me like to the apartment when I'm situated in, and which is like a 10-minute walk from the station. Cool. Do, 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 do,
Hmm.
do. And everything's taken care of. This is going pretty good. What goes up without a hitch? He gives me the intro speech and like says a couple things, points a few things out in the area, and he goes, "All right, man, you start working 3 days. Like you got some time off to get settled in. Maybe you sleep off your jet lag or do whatever or have fun." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, dude! I don't know anybody. I like know nobody here, literally." He's like, "Well, I got to get back to work. Um, Pretty cool place. Walk around. I'm sure you meet people. Bye." So I'm just like, great. So I want to be an idiot and bubbling around. Like I could barely speak Japanese. I could be really reading. So I'm walking in like random restaurants, pointing at the menu, going, "I'll have this," and just people just give me stuff. Anyway, but like luckily, like the cool place I find is a bar next door to this foreign foods restaurant. The guy was like really, really cool. And I walk in, and he's like, "Whoa, there's a foreigner." And I'm like, actually, I walk in, he had his like back to me and dropped the glass. And he turns around and sees a foreigner. I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, I don't want any trouble, man. I in the wrong place. Like, am I in the wrong place?" And he tries to speak Japanese to me. I can't communicate. He calls the cook out. And the cook says, like, "Oh, no, no, the master is very honored. He has had this foreign foods restaurant for more than 10 years. No foreigners ever come here. You will be the first. Dinner's on him." And I'm like, cool.
That
So
never
this is like
happens
going really
anymore.
good. I'm just like, "Yay, great."
Never happens anymore.
I know, right?
Back in the day,
All
weird stuff
downhill.
like that would happen.
Yeah. So anyway, so I go there, I eat food, and like he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, this place is cool." I start drinking with him, and whatever we can do to communicate, and like people start filtering in. He's like, introducing me to all his friends. He's like, "Oh, you have a Gaijin in here," and like this is like countryside enough where I'm like, a little bit of a curiosity. So start drinking with them, and like after like a certain point, like I get jet lag started hitting me like a hammer. This is where it goes down. He's
Hmm.
like, "No, no, no, man, you should stay. Like more friends coming. I called up all my friends. I'll introduce you. Make a ton of friends." And I'm like, "No, dude, I'm gonna like pass out. I'm gonna fall off this bar stool." It wasn't even like that. I wasn't even that drunk. Like I was just it's like jet lag was just killing me. So
It
like
happens.
I was like, I'll maybe go back up. Here's where the nightmare really starts. So like I go back up to my apartment alone, close the door, lock
Mm-hmm.
it, and boom. Then I wake up in the middle of the night, and I can't explain. Like I wake up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't move. like at all. Not
Yeah.
only I'm hearing like weird sounds like creaking and this and like I couldn't shake this feeling. There's just like a malevolent presence, like a dark spirit. Oh no, I neglected to mention this earlier, but like the place overlooked. It was on the third or fourth floor, and it like overlooked a graveyard as well. So
Mm.
I'm getting like, all kinds of creeped out, and I couldn't move. I'm sitting there going, "What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?" So what do you think happened there?
Okay. You wake up and you can't move. Uh, well, all right. There's a couple of things that could possibly happen to you, Tom. One, well, could be night terrors. Two, you could have a dead hooker on top of you. Or three, you haven't eaten anything in a couple of days and you've only been drunk and your body just gave out. One of the three. I'm thinking hooker.
You think it's okay? It's actually sleep paralysis. I don't know if you've ever had it, man. But if you dude, pray, if you've never had it, pray you don't ever get it because it's the most terrifying thing. So you wake up and like
Mhm.
can't move, and your brain just kicks into overdrive. This is where they think you know the legend of the succubus. That, like this old like woman. Sometimes she's a really hot lady, but a lot of times she's an old hag. Comes and like sits on your chest and like steals your soul or your breath or whatever. That's where
Yeah.
they like that myth or legend came from. But like, yeah, man, it's terrifying. And like, I swore, like in my brain, there was like a dark evil spirit or something was in there. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. And also, it's an older building. If you've been in some of the older like Japanese apartments, usually well maintained. Not junk, but like they're a little bit like creaky. Like you can hear the pipes and you can hear your like, neighbors moving around next door because the walls are paper thin. So I'm doing all this,
Yeah.
and I can't move. And sort of is like I tend to sleep on my side. So what I was it took this seemed like hours. But realistically, it was probably only a couple of minutes. I was somehow able to get like my finger into my mouth, and then I just like bit down as hard as I could. And, like the pain like snapped me right out. I was like, ah! So I jumped up and I was like, whoa, man, that was like weird. So I jumped up and I freaked out a little bit, and then I kind of calmed down. I realized, okay, I've read about this before. It's nothing crazy like that. It's combination of probably like alcohol and like some massive jet lag and just being kind of amped up in general. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, no big deal, right? So like I woke up, like puttered, or it wasn't like super late. This is maybe like around midnight. Woke up, like puttered around the apartment a little bit. Maybe had like a little bit of glass of water and just went back to bed. And you'd think that would be the end of it, but no. I had a reoccurring nightmare where I relived that like same dream like 6 or 7 times. So I'd sleep like 20, 30 minutes or maybe an hour. Boom, go through that same nightmare. Just like I swear like 6 or 7 times it just kept coming back to haunt me. So yeah, it
Really?
was like
That's the scariest thing that's happened to you in Japan. That's scarier than like an AIDS test. I don't know, man. And getting an AIDS test is way scarier than that. I've had sleep paralysis like so many times. I get it like once every couple of months.
wake up, you don't know what's going on. If you've never had it before, you wake up, you don't know what's going on. No, 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 no. I've never had it
No,
before. I've
I've
never
had
had
that.
like really freak me
Yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, no, it's weird. You can't move. You're like like that. Yeah, it's not fun, man. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but it happens to me not all the time, but I would say at least like maybe 2 months or so, like kind of often, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's just something that happens. But the thing is, like when it happens to my back, I'm not on my side or on my front back when that shit happens. It's not fun. It is frightening, but the thing is, it's just like not as bad as an AIDS test. Just saying.
Uh, yeah. Any other
Mhm.
crazy scary story? Oh, there was that one scary story that you and I were both a part of. Remember that?
But the AIDS test?
It's that separately. I don't know. I want to confess.
Wait.
Confess a lot,
What are
man.
you
I confess
talking
a
about?
lot.
What are you talking? Is it safe for air? Like what kind of a scary
No, because
thing are we talking about?
like Nakamura is still in your hood. I remember, like, I would just do a podcast. So you come over, we do the podcast. We had a good time. We're all like buddy buddy. and you're just like, hey man, let's go down to that one cheap supermarket and go shopping. Oh, I gotta go shopping too. And like, keep in mind, we haven't seen each other, so we're just like sitting there. We're going through the shop, just cheap supermarket shopping, BSing as we regularly do. And then that one like crazy looking
Oh,
goth at us, remember?
oh my God.
Because
Yeah.
we're
No,
just like, what's been up? And then we just get this like crazy looking goth chick is just standing in our way, just staring at us. And I'm like, excuse me, let's just move over. And like she and just gives us this big goofy grin. And I'm telling you, man, she definitely had the crazy eyes. For sure, she had the crazy eyes. And she just starts
dude, you're breaking up,
following.
man.
What's that? What
Dude,
did
your
you say,
internet's
man?
fucked up, dude. You're breaking up. Hello? Hello? Yeah, dude, your internet's breaking up, man. Oh, I fucking hate
Not
this.
really much. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, but that crazy chick starts following us around.
Yo, can you hear me? Because nobody heard any of that story.
Sorry, man. What I was trying to say is like that crazy chick just starts following us around.
Okay, well, all right. I just heard that. Okay, so all right, retell the whole story. You broke
Okay.
up, dude. Like I only got like bits and pieces of that whole story. It's like Max Headroom.
Okay. All right. So like, yeah, because like remember like back when I used to like live in your hood, right? Like Nakamura. This is before I moved down here to like Yokohama suburbs, right? So
Mhm.
like we did a podcast, it was really cool. We're hanging out and like we finish up and Johnny's just like, hey man, I gotta go shopping. I was like, oh, I gotta go shopping too. So let's go to that one cheap super. Yeah, man, that sounds cool. And like we haven't really hung out because like Johnny's busy with work and I'm like, I got a kid to take care of. So we're just like, hey man, how you doing? Like, what's been up with this and that? And yeah, so we're going through the supermarket, and yeah, then just like, oh yeah, dude, dog, how you doing? Blah blah blah. Just putting stuff in like our baskets, and then like we stop. This like there's just one of the aisles is this crazy looking goth girl like blocking our way,
Mhm.
and I was like, excuse me,
Mhm.
just could you like scooch on over? She gives this goofy grin. Definitely has the crazy eyes. Don't forget that, and just gives this big goofy grin, and just like moves aside. And we walk on by her. Then she just starts following us around. Doesn't say anything. Just follows the two of us around, and like me and Johnny are just sitting there looking at each other, and like we didn't even have to. We were friends for like so long. We didn't have to say anything. We just like looked at each other, and we just gave each other that look, and we're just like abort, 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 GTFO, and like yeah. So we just like hurried through the line, paper and stuff, and just like bagged it up and went. Then we got outside, and then Johnny said, "No, no, no, dude, side streets." So we took like a bunch of quick side streets, like detours, to make sure it was always like yeah, yeah. We got a couple of those.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So
I don't know,
basically, a
like, don't you
schizophrenic
have like
girl
a bunch
fell in
of
love with
those?
Tom. Oh, that was pretty crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. She could
yeah.
have been
That
more.
lady, she was. I don't know, man.
So
She
I
was
don't
trying to
know.
talk to you because you're like this big, tall, like white dude. I don't know. I'm more average here, but hey, okay. So do you have like another like Japanese story, like a traditional Japanese story about like uni or something like that that you were supposed to get,
Uh,
Tom? Oh shit! I blew it out. Oh no.
Dude, yeah,
That's what I get for
Johnny's.
drinking too much. Aha. We don't need no education. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Blow my candle.
Traditional stories are always like weird though. Like
So,
you hear the
do you
one.
have one though? That's what you're supposed to do, by the way. We don't need no thought control.
Think about
Oh,
the.
wait, so do you
You
have
know
like
about the.
an old story?
Yeah, like you know about the kitsune. You know that
All
one.
right. Oh, wait. Is it a short story? We don't have too much time.
It's a real short story, but like a lot of these stories
All right.
start like this. Like basically, this like dude, like let's just say he's a samurai because why not? Because it's like feudal Japan.
Okay.
Dude goes out, it's like has a bit to drink. He's having a good time, and then decides to go home. So he's going home, minding his own business. On the path, he sees this beautiful woman, who's got her fan up, and she just like they cross paths, and he gives her like little cutesy. She gives him a little cutesy smile, starts chatting her up, and like they get flirtatious. He's like, yeah, I don't know who this girl is, but I think she's really into me. And then he says, well, where do you live? And she goes, oh, right this way, sir. Come back to my place. And she turns around, and then he sees like a foxtail sticking out. He's like, no, Kitsune. And then he tries to kill her, and she runs away. That's basically the story. But like, you heard that one before? The Kitsune?
No, but you said it so well, so I don't need to hear it again.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, anyway, I thought you were gonna have like a bunch of like Japanese like traditional horror stories.
I swear, like a lot of them are alike though. It's either Kitsune or like the same deal with an ice woman. This guy's like hiking, and this beautiful woman invites him to his place, and like he bangs her, and then like she's cold, and he wakes up next to a like dead corpse, and it's like the ice woman demon, like the Yuki demon. They're all like that, man. I don't know. Like maybe I could have done my homework, but like I thought, like traditional, like you wanted
Yeah,
spooky
you had
stuff.
homework. I gave you homework. I said, Tom, I need three spooky traditional Japanese stories, and you got me nothing.
You said three spooky stories. You didn't say anything about traditional or anything.
Well, I just thought that you would understand that if I said three tradition or three Japanese spooky stories, that wouldn't be like you having night paralysis. Sorry, okay, all right, all right, let me think. Next time when speaking to Tom, I have to be completely thorough because he won't get it. Got it. All right, got it. Okay. So, all right, how about this? All right. So, before we get on to the news, because this is like a Halloween episode, maybe one of two or something. All right. For you, what is your scariest Japanese movie? Or what's your favorite Japanese scary movie?
The Ring was pretty good.
What?
How about you?
Wait, would you say? You're breaking
I thought
up.
The Ring was pretty good. I like the Ring. That's a classic.
Ah, The Ring. Okay, yeah, The Ring is pretty good.
I'll be honest. Like, I actually like the Japanese version better because I thought it was more psychologically gripping. Even though they didn't have as much, obviously the Hollywood version of it had a lot more money, but I thought like the original
Yeah,
Japanese version, they did a better version of the storytelling. Ooh,
I
ooh,
agree.
ooh. There's one more. There's one more that like a friend showed it to me. It's really good. It's not really gory, but it's really psychological. You ever heard of one called Booth?
No.
Ooh, see that one. It's really good. It's like psychological and cerebral.
Okay, no. I'll definitely have to check that one out. Let's see. For me, it wasn't
It's
a
just called
horror movie. It was more of like kind of like a
yeah. It's
what?
a horror. Yeah, check that one out. But yeah, sorry. I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, you can't do that because our internet's, I don't know if it's my internet or your internet, but maybe a combination of two or whatever. Maybe my neighbors are all looking at fucking hardcore porn. But the internet connection's not so good right now. But let me think. I think for me, Yariman Hunter was pretty decent, but that's more of like a psychological thriller, kind of like Fatal Attraction. And so is Forest of Love. Forest of Love was like a really great movie, but also it wasn't a horror movie, but it was like a psychological
I
thriller.
don't know. I would argue Force of Love is pretty horror. I mean, there's pretty gory stuff, but like we did a very special episode about that, like the psycho killer, the serial killer. It was all based off of. It has
Yeah, yeah,
Jack
yeah.
Cole.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Japan, I think Japan in like the 90s, the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s had a lot of great movies. There were so many fantastic movies back then. Now it's kind of hit or miss, but back then there was like a lot of great movies. And I think a lot of the movies back then were, I mean, the scary movies were kind of scary. Like, for example, even Houseu. Houseu was kind of like at its time was like a very scary movie. I mean, that movie when it came out was like frightening for a lot of people. You know, I mean, that was like Psycho. That was like the equivalent of like Psycho in America, but in Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like yeah, because we did that. We actually wound up watching that one. Like, yeah, it was very good, especially considering it came out with like what, like 1972, I think, something like that. So they did like,
Yeah,
and they
like
didn't.
no,
Yeah, it didn't have a huge budget.
79 or 82.
Is it? No, it was. It wasn't. It was in the 70s. I can't. I should know this. Maybe it's 78. I don't know, but it was definitely in the 70s. Though. But like,
Yeah, it was like a long time ago. That's for sure.
like yeah, I would say like they didn't have a very good budget, but they got very creative and like with the directing and some of the shots. I don't know, but
No, it had
like
to be in the 70s. It was in color.
yeah, yeah, it was in the 70s for sure. But you were saying this like early 80s. I was like, no, it's in the 70s, man. It's gonna bother me. I
Yeah,
have to
okay.
look
All
that
right,
up.
whatever. It was like
The only thing is
before like most of our audience was born.
like the ending gets kind of dumb after the second watch. I'm like, anyway, watch it at your own peril. But yeah, it's worth checking out. House 1970 something Japanese horror film.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
go on to the news. We got
Well, on that note, okay, well, I think we should take a little break. And then after the break, we come back and we get into the news. What do you think?
for sure. Sounds good.
All right, faders. Faders. What we're going to do is we're going to take like a 5-minute break, enjoy our sponsors, follow our sponsors, love our sponsors, support our sponsors. And when we come back, we've got the news. All right, faders, we're going to catch you in a minute. Peace. Oh, man. Okay, that was cool. All right. I can't believe you didn't have any traditional Japanese horse stories. The one thing I told you to, you only had one job, by the way. Ay, ay, ay.
Old stories, spooky stories, or something. Anyway,
Oh, by the way, dude, I think like when you speak, listen, when you talk too fast, like when you talk really fast, the internet starts breaking up. I don't know if it's trying to keep up with you or something. I don't know what it is. So try not to speak so quickly. And I'll do the same on my end too.
I gotcha.
All right.
Right.
Okay, so how about this, man? All right, let me just pull up this news. All right, how about we both do 2 stories each because it's getting kind of late. So
Fine.
and just choose a story by random. Just make sure it's a good one. Fuck, I'm getting lit, yo. My God, it's been a while since I drank 8% highballs. Whew, welcome back to Japan. America, the beer tastes so delicious, but in Japan, the alcohol content out here is just ridiculous. I got like a 9% highball right here. Look at this bad boy right here. 9%. Man, dude, this is gonna knock my socks off. Oh, geez, Louise. By the way, when's the last? It's been a while, right?
Me?
Hello? Yo, me? Yeah, you schmuck. Can you hear me? God damn it. This
Hey,
internet's
now.
fucking.
What's up?
Wait, so when did you stop listening?
You said, yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Just repeat what you were trying to say.
Oh God, now I gotta think. Um, okay. Yeah, okay, so you do 2 stories and then I'll do 2 stories.
Sure. Why don't we just tag team in and out?
Well, yeah, no. Well, yeah, of course we're gonna tag team in and out and stuff, but I will do 2 stories and you just 2 stories. So all together we will both have 4 stories. So we'll have 4 stories like that because it's getting kind of late.
That's fine. We can do that.
Does that make sense to you? What? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. All right, cool. And also, the internet is kind of breaking up a little bit. So I think if you talk too fast, maybe it's just too much information or something. But yeah, like it's like it's like the goddamn internet from 1999 or something. So, I mean, it's to be honest, it's seriously pissing me off. So, wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Fine. I'm listening.
Okay, great. Do you have stories?
Yep, I did. Plenty. There are a bunch. I'm just trying to find the spookiest.
Oh, okay, great, great, great. Oh, God damn it. I hate it when the internet is like this. And I pay so much money, dude. I work so hard and then I pay for these fucking bills and shit. And then the internet gives me this kind of bullshit. Maybe it's on my end, maybe it's on your end. Who knows? But it's like all lagging like this. It just drives me crazy because I pay so much money. If it was cheap, I'm like, it's cheap internet. That's what you get. But I pay so much fucking money. They're increasing all the fucking like everything's going up in price next month. You know that, right? The sales tax is going to go up. So like basically whatever you're paying for your internet and all this other stuff, I have a little candle right here because it's Halloween. Reality, probably the next couple of months, we're all going to need candles. We're like, man, it's getting way, way out of hand.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm listening. Yeah, I'm just looking. Sorry, man. I'm listening. I'm just looking at the stories and everything to comment back.
Well, you're freezing up too, man. So,
Let's try our best and just do it, maybe.
all right. So just let me know when you got a story. All you need is one.
Okay. Fish got one. Perfect one for Halloween. Ready?
Okay. Oh, by the way, we're live streaming. So for all you faders out there, this is the bullshit that we do when we take a break. You think it's exciting? You think we do some crazy stuff when we're taking a break? Like, oh man, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna go crazy. We got like hookers and booze and stuff. No, 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 no. We just bicker. We just bicker and argue, and we complain about the internet and bills. Like a couple of like old losers that work way too hard for way little paychecks. Oh God. All right. So, all right, you ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready?
A pretty good one. What's up, Peters? Ah, shit.
You okay?
Hey, oh my God. Okay, here we go. All right, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. All right, all right, all right. So all you guys watch this live, that's basically called a outcut. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. And we are back, Faders. And yes, Faders, we do have the news for you. And we've got some amazingly spooky news. Actually, the news that I have is kind of creepy in a not good way, but in a very bad way. So let's see. Tom, do you mind if I go first?
Sure. If you want to go first, it's fine. Take it. Go for it.
Okay, so I got a very creepy story. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Wait, wait. No, I just had it. I just lost it. Oh my gosh. Why do I drink so much? Okay, okay. So I've got a very creepy Halloween story. Ooh, this story is so creepy. Here we go. Teacher arrested for taking secret photos of teenage girls' naked bodies before he stabs them while wearing a hockey mask. Okay, that last part was fake. The last part was fake. But yes, there was what?
What?
Okay, I thought you said something. Yes. So what? Dude, if you're gonna say something, man. You're breaking up, all right? Say something or don't say something. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Teacher arrested for taking secret photos of teenage girls' naked bodies. Ooh, so spooky. No, actually creepy. This man is a creep. He's a creep. If we had $1 for every time we had a story like this, I would quit all my work and buy Sakura Island. I swear to God. This story takes place in Shiga. Police in Moyama, Shiga Prefecture, have arrested a 41-year-old high school teacher on suspicion of violating the Child Pornography Prohibition Act after he took secret creepy photos of teenage girls' naked bodies with his creepy smartphone. Ooh. Police said the suspect, Masa Ishida, has remained Silent, except to say, quote, feel like talking about anything. End quote. Sanaki Shimbun reported. According to police, Shida is suspected of secretly taking creepy nude photos of girls with his creepy smartphone in a hotel room in Kyoto City on January 4th of this year, and possessing a smartphone containing 12 videos of child pornography, showcasing girls under the age of 18 years old when he was detained for suspicious creepy behavior on a creepy street in Moyama Creepy City in Creepy May. Wow, this is a creepy story for sure. The Shiga Prefecture Board of Education commented, quote, we deeply regret that this has damaged the trust of the people of the prefecture, period. We will confirm the facts and take strict action, end quote. Well, I hope this creepy bastard goes to a creepy prison for the rest of his creepy life. Tom, thoughts? Ooh.
Man, but like underage girls, teenage girls, why? Just why? He's a creeper, man. Lock him up, throw away the key. I don't know what is like. Obviously, I don't agree with this, but I don't know what else we could say at this point because like we've done so many like creeper articles about creepy guy who takes creepy photos of unwitting like underage girls. So lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say.
Yep, lock him up, throw away the key, and Saya, Nara.
I hate to say it, but like obviously I don't agree with this, but like, I still think it's super duper creepy. But like we've done so many, I'm just desensitized to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, if there's more to this story, like, I mean, if he was wearing like a Batman outfit or something, it would be more interesting. But nah, it's just a creepy teacher. But the guy is 40 years old. You know, actually, I'm pretty surprised that he only had like a few videos on his phone. You probably like, or maybe he had like some kind of like a secret, like kind of like a file or something like that, whatever, where he had like millions of them. But yeah, usually these creepoids have like a shit ton of videos and stuff on their phones. Usually when they find their phone, they're like, holy shit. And then when they do like when they go into his house, they'll probably find like hard drives full of crazy shit. So yeah, there's probably more to this story, and we'll find that out.
Yeah, but that because they always do, dude. It's not like an isolated incident. He's been like creeping on girls like then, and he's 40. He's had what, like 20 plus years to do this. Oh, another thing, since I'm a parent,
Yeah.
super duper creepy when like you're in your 40s and you're taking pictures like naughty pictures of like underage girls that are like by that age they're young enough to be your daughter. Super creepy.
Good point. Good point. You know, another thing is, how did he like get naked photos of these girls? Like, I mean, what was he doing? Liz? He's in a hotel. Was he like slipping his phone under like the door, like hitting record or something? Or like
Yeah.
popping it up through a window or something, or taping it to his shoe as he's walking around or something? Or I don't know, man. How did he get these fucking naked photos? Then again, we should probably not talk about this because it could be incriminating. We could go to jail for that.
Yeah, but like, no, you hit on a good point. I was going to say that too. I was wondering like, yeah, how do you get the videos? Was they window peeking or I don't know, sneaking like into the onsen or the hot springs or whatever? I don't know. But, yeah, don't do it. But anyway, I think I'm going to do
You're
this.
breaking up. Slow down.
All right.
What?
Anyway,
Hello?
yeah, I'm here.
Hello?
Hey,
Yo, Tom.
yeah,
Tom.
what?
Tom. We did. I 1 minute. There's nothing. Well, I didn't hear anything. Nothing got recorded for the last minute.
All right. Anyways, I think it's my turn to go. So I'll read my creepy story.
There we go. Whatever.
Kanagawa, a man was found hanged and a woman fatally stabbed inside a hotel in Yokohama City's Konan ward on Monday, police have
Mhm.
revealed. At around 11
Nice.
a.m., an hotel located in front of KQ Kamioka Station called police. Quote, two people, a man and a woman, have not come out of the room. Even though it's time to check out, their door is locked from the inside, and we can see a rope through the gap. Dun, dun, dun. According to Conan Police Station, the man was found with a rope around his neck near the door. The woman was sitting upright in bed, leaning forward, bleeding from her upper body. Two bloodstained knives were found in the room, TVSC reports on the 10th. Subsequent police investigations revealed that the woman was a Yokohama resident, aged in her late teens, and the cause of death was hemorrhagic shock. Hemorrhagic shock. Am I pronouncing that right? Hemorrhagic shock, police said.
It's
Yeah,
it's called hemorrhoidic. It's like her butthole, the hemorrhoids.
right. No, hemorrhoid. No, I'm pretty sure she bled out. I'm pretty sure that is what it means. What do I know? I'm not a doctor. The man, aged in his 40s and living in Kyoto City, Kyoto Prefecture, had deep stab wounds near his chest. The cause of death was cardiac tamponade. We should just call this the creepy medical episode.
Yeah, it's
Pressure is created by blood or fluid collecting around the sac surrounding the heat, caused it to not function normally. I'm reading that verbatim.
Wait, Tom. His sack had too much blood and it didn't.
Yeah, his sack had too much blood.
Normally, this internet's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, his sack had too much blood, so you can tell where all the blood was going. But let's get to. There were no signs of struggle in the room, police have said. The police are currently investigating the relationship between the man and the woman, the circumstances that led to the deaths. An employee at a nearby store who witnessed the scene outside the hotel
God damn it.
discovered quote,
Tom,
two bodies.
Tom.
What?
Read that last minute again.
Okay. There were no signs of struggle in the room, police said. Police are currently investigating the relationship between the man and the woman, the circumstances that led to their deaths. That's it. An employee at a nearby store who witnessed the scene outside the hotel after discovery told the Asahi Shimbun that two bodies were wrapped in blue tarpaulins and carried away. So what's going on here? A dude in his 40s from Kyoto was shacking up with a girl in her late teens. Dun, dun, dun. I think we get another creepo on our hands.
Wait, so basically he killed her and then he committed suicide.
They haven't said that, but
Hello?
that's what I was thinking. Seems like the most logical answer, right?
I guess so, yeah. I don't know. So it's basically a murder suicide in a love hotel. So it's like basically the love hotel from hell.
Yeah. Or maybe, well, actually, they said he had like stab wounds on his chest as well. So, I don't know.
My God. What do you think? It's like knife play?
Maybe she tried to kill him first, and then he just stabbed her back. I don't know. Some pretty people. I don't know. People doing some whack shit these days, man. Who knows?
That is true, man. Yeah. The way murder's going these days, dude, it's getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Okay, here we go. My story.
Role play gone wrong. Role play gone wrong. Sorry.
No, what'd you say? God damn it. Here, let me internet. Hold on a second. Piss me off with bullshit. All right, maybe that will fix things. God damn it. Yeah, that's what happens when you do a podcast live. Ugh. Hello?
I was just gonna say role play gone wrong.
What? God damn it, I fucking hate this.
Role play gone wrong.
All right, knife play gone wrong. All right, hopefully things are gonna be better now. All right, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, I guess like Halloween. Dude, I think there's a ghost in the machine, man. The ghost, the spirits of the internet are fucking with us, dude. They not want us to podcast tonight. They're doing everything they can to stop this podcast happening, man. They're pulling the wires. They're putting salt in the machine. Dude, we're having problems left, right, and center, but that's okay, man, because we are carrying on, man. We are moving forward with this podcast. Nothing can stop us except for technology itself. But don't worry, we got Satan on our shoulders, so it's cool. All right, here we go. Next, I got a question for you, Tom, before I do this story. Tom, have you ever been brainwashed?
I don't think so. Why? But if but if you were actually brainwashed, then you would know you were
Wait,
brainwashed,
have you ever been brainwashed?
right? So I don't think so. Why?
Okay, you don't think so? I don't think I've ever been brainwashed either, but here we go. This is a story about brainwashing. Man arrested for fraud after brainwashing two women to fund his lifestyle. Okay, so how do you brainwash someone? I don't know, but I tell you what, I want to brainwash all our listeners into supporting us on Patreon. This story takes place in Osaka. Aishiteru. Police in Osaka Prefecture have arrested a 22-year-old unemployed man on suspicion of fraud and extortion for allegedly correcting two women in their 20s for buying him two sports cars. Well, that's very expensive in Japan, and transferring money to him. God damn, this guy's good. Mitsuho Shiraishi and the two women have been living together for about 5 months. And during questioning, he reportedly stated that he had, quote, brainwashed the two women in order to live an easy life, end quote. NHK quoted police as saying, wow, that's crazy, man. You know what this is like? This is like an evil version of like Three's Company. Remember that show Three's Company?
Yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, but didn't the dude pretend to be gay so he could live with those two
Remember?
children? Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, basically he pretended to be gay so he could live in like an all girls like I guess apartment place. That was insane, man. That was like the best show ever. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. Where kisses are his and hers, it's Three's Company too. Yeah, I'm a terrible singer when I get this drunk. Okay, moving on. According to police, Shirashi met the two women through social media in February, and he began dating one of them. Three's Company. In March, the three began living together. Police said Shirashi poses as fictitious characters, sent the two threatening emails more than. Wait. This is written out
Right.
fucked up. Police said Shirahashi, posing as fictitious characters, sent the two threatening emails more than 2,000 times, making them believe that they were being targeted by hostile forces and making various demands on them under the pretext of protecting themselves. The women brought the women bought him a car and transferred money into his account between March and June. Police said Shiashi also kept the women confined to his apartment by convincing him it was dangerous to leave because enemy forces that wanted to harm them were outside the building. Dude, what the fuck? This story is fucking so crazy. This is a horror story in itself, man. Oh my God. And it's written, the person that wrote this fucking article is a moron. I'm a drunk idiot at this moment, but still, I can tell that this article is written by a fool. The incident came to light when one of the women asked for help from an acquaintance she had met while playing an online game. The acquaintance contacted police and said her friend was being confined by a man named Shirashi. Police says Shirashi has admitted to the charge and quoted him as saying, quote, I brainwashed the two women to satisfy my desire to have everything I wanted in order to live an easy life, end quote. Well, that was written pretty well, I guess. Well, then again, I guess it was a quote, so how can you fuck that up? But yeah, dude, that's pretty crazy. So, Tom, what are your thoughts on this story?
Pretty crazy. Yeah, I guess he did brainwash them or something, man. Like either that, but I don't know. But usually the women that get targeted in this, like they're older, they're not the best looking, they're well off, and they're just really lonely, so looking for companionship. So I don't know what to say. Like,
Check, check.
yeah.
Yeah,
there,
two checks right there, man. So I think that's what happened.
there's a developing story I found. I
Hmm?
only found a little bit of information, but I'd like to come back to it. But like, apparently, there's this dude who wants to be the god of uh, marriage or something. That's what he wants. So he's married, but he lives with like he's got four wives. Polygamy is illegal, but he's legally married to one, but he's got three other women that live there. So he's got four wives that all live together, and and he's got two girlfriends on top of it that I think like visit quite frequently. And all the women are completely cool with this, but this guy has not worked for more than 10 years. But like basically, and he's already knocked him up and he had a couple of kids with his like wives. Apparently, they're all cool with this, with him not working and just them like going out and working, financially supporting him. What does he do? He's a house husband. He takes care of all the cooking, cleaning, and like child rearing. And like apparently all the women are just like completely cool with him just like being the stay-at-home dad and the sperm donor.
Yeah. Well, I
I
don't see a problem in that if everybody's happy.
I guess, but like I want to know more info about this because this could be like a whole episode in and of itself, depending on what kind of details we can dig up. But like, yeah,
Well,
he's a nut job because he said he wants to become the god of marriage and parenting, and the god of masculinity. He wants to become a god of a lot of things. And this is his way to do it. So he's a nut bar too.
well, yeah, I'm sure he is. But I tell you what, man. I mean, two wives, three wives, four wives. I mean, on paper, that sounds awesome, but in real life, dude, that's a lot of work. That's really expensive. Fuck that. Seriously, who's got the energy to do all that shit?
Can you
Oh
imagine how much
my God. Yeah. And they're teaming up on him too, right? Like for example, the one day he doesn't do dishes, it's not one wife that's pissed off. It's like five wives. Five wives are fucking in surrounding him, dude, like a fucking gang, being like, "Bitch, you didn't fucking wash the dishes, and the floors are dirty. Did you sweep the floors? Did you vacuum? I don't think you vacuum. And where the fucking linens, bitch?" He'll be like, "Oh, honeys, I'm so sorry." So on paper, it sounds great, but in reality, I don't think so. What a nightmare having five wives. Woo, spooky.
I agree because like what if one of his wives came home and just like totally unrelated to anything he's done at home or whatever. What she just went to work and just had a shitty day at work, right? She comes home
Yeah.
in a pissed off mood. Then like wife number three's pissed off about something. Maybe not related to like maybe not out of his control. Then maybe wife number one has like a legitimate gripe, and all of a sudden it's this chain reaction snowballs it, and it's just like bang, 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 bang.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. I couldn't agree with you more.
It's like smoking inside a fireworks shop, right?
Yeah,
So you think you got a
exactly, exactly. Okay, your story.
ash in the wrong place and pop, 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 and then your ass gets lit up.
Yep.
All right. Last story. I don't know. Like last story. All right, here we go. Tokyo Metropolitan Police on Monday have arrested a 64-year-old man after a corpse, likely that of his father, was found inside their home in Hachioji City. According to Hachioji Police
What?
Station. Yeah, what? Yeah, it gets better. I promise. We've had like a rash of these, like basically. Usually, what this is like, if you're like just turning in, you're like a short-term listener, but like, yeah, a lot of these like kids that are deadbeats are just basically like one of their parents passes away and like they don't tell anybody, so they just like wrap them in like a carpet and lock them in a room and like just can't keep cashing their like retirement pension or whatever because they're deadbeats. But anyway, this one gets better
Yeah,
though.
dude,
Yeah,
do you know how stinky
yeah,
they-
I imagine so.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
Yeah, I imagine so. I imagine it would get very, 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 very stinky real quick. Where are we?
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when questioned, Sato denied the charges, saying, "I didn't think my father was dead." The suspect was quoted in saying, "I thought he was just sleeping for a year."
Sleeping with the fishes.
Crazy. here's where it gets better. The residence is inside a public housing complex. The suspect lives there with his 90-year-old father. Okay, inside a public housing complex. So isn't somebody smelling something off? On October 13th, a staff member from a cleaning company entered the residence and found mummified remains in the living room. In the living room, you didn't have the good sense to lock him in another room. Oh my God!
Ah, that's right next to the fucking Nintendo, man.
Oh, it gets better. You're gonna love this next quote. Sato explained to the staff member, "Quote: I have a father who can't move, but don't worry about it." End quote. This is totally normal. Police are
That's
currently in the process
crazy.
of learning the identification of the body. So what do you think, Dan? Help! He's fallen asleep and can't get up.
Oh, God damn it. You know what? This happens all the time. This is like a reoccurring issue here in Japan where basically like, somebody's father or mother or grandmother dies or whatever. And they just keep on collecting the checks, because I mean, they're a
Deadbeats.
deadbeat, they don't have a job. And yeah, they're always deadbeats, that means shit. I mean, they're living with their parents at fucking 50 years old. So the thing is this though, man, I can't imagine living in a room, in an apartment, or a house with a dead body. There's no way I could live in a house with a dead body. Now, I live near a cemetery. Actually, I live near a couple of cemeteries, just like you. I mean, it's Tokyo. There's cemeteries everywhere. There's a cemetery within 15 minutes of every apartment building. This is how it is here, right? But the thing is, though, body in your house as a body, dude, that's creepy. Especially if it's next to your Nintendo, dude. If you're like playing like fucking like a game, and you're like, yeah, get out of my way. Oh, I forgot. That's creepy, right? Woo, happy Halloween.
Yeah, so that's about it. And
What do you
yeah,
think?
I guess like that's about it. Yeah, it's super creepy. But also, yeah, tune in. We didn't get to mention this before, but it's a little bit of sad news on like Shibuya though. They're trying to crack down and shut it down. So I don't know. They said like they're gonna have like signs up saying no partying in Halloween. They already banned drinking. That came into effect in the first. And they're saying that like no Halloween.
Yeah.
Trying to stamp out Halloween. They're going to have signs and public powers, and police are going to be out in full force. So you can't stop Halloween. They're going to wall off like Hachiko so people can't take pictures. And I don't know. We're gonna save this until the next episode for the after action report. But I think this is gonna fail epically because there's gonna be pushback because it's Halloween and that is tradition. People want to party on in Shibuya on Halloween. That has been the tradition. So we'll see what happens. I think there's gonna be some pushback though. I bet you. I
All
can't.
right. It's funny that you say that, but like online, there's already groups of people that are like going to Ikebukuro in Ikebukuro Park. People Ueno, like that Central Park Godzilla Tower or whatever by what's it called? Kabukicho, the falls, the waterfall park, whatever, that's over there. So it's like instead of like everybody in the whole city going to Shibuya, with Shibuya closing down, I think it's strategic to be honest. I think this is a way for like Tokyo itself to spread the love because I mean before everybody's going to Shibuya where it's concentrated in Shibuya, but for like Shibuya, the mayor of Shibuya being like, nope, nope, don't do it here. There's no alcohol in the streets. We're not gonna give you a ticket, but we're gonna like take your alcohol away, and we're gonna sternly yell at you and stuff, which has been happening every single night in Tokyo in Shibuya recently. And so I think people are gonna like. Of course there's gonna be people in Shibuya. Of course there's gonna be people there. You can't stop that. But I think what's gonna happen is more people are gonna like kind of like move out of Shibuya, other areas and stuff. And I think there's gonna be more love spread out. And it could be strategic done by the city, being like, listen, stuff all here, all the man is here, all the money being made here. If we stop it here, versus Shibuya, we're gonna make fucking money no matter what. But if we stop it here, kinda, people will go to other places like Harajuku, Shinjuku, Ikebukuro, Ueno. I mean, Jiugoka, who knows? I mean, all other places and stuff, you know? So I think that's what's going to happen. And
I
that's kind
still,
of like the vibe that I've been feeling.
I don't
I
know,
mean,
man.
I'm going to Nihonbashi.
Well, I mean, like there's always been a lot of action in like Harajuku as well, which is one stop north on the Yamanote line. But yeah, and I know for a fact Shinjuku sees some action as well. But the thing being is like, but
Oh, yeah.
Shibuya for sure like almost had a monopoly on it, and like I think it's stupid to let basically other areas of Tokyo eat their lunch because let's one thing that's really important here, which you need everybody to understand, like Tokyo is not a city; it is a prefecture. Shibuya, Shinjuku, the 23 wards are all actually technically different cities that are independent political systems. Like they've got a little bit of leeway to do the things. Like it's stupid on Shibuya's part to let basically the rest of Tokyo eat their lunch, which is what they're doing. And all they had to do is the same thing that you and I have been screaming in the microphone for I don't know how many years. Like corral it into Yogi Park. There's a big enough space.
Yep.
You can have
Yep.
you can get merchants involved. Like there's a lot of good like commerce inflowing. Just make sure everybody's safe, and you can have some cool, wicked, fun stuff. Get some DJs, whatever, man. You can rock it. You can own
Hmm.
that shit like nobody's business.
Yep.
It'd be a massive party, like one of the worldwide, probably one of the biggest Halloween parties. But
Yeah, I agree with you. Yep. Yep. But
but
I think it's political. I think it's political. And the thing is, like, no matter what, Shibuya is going to have a shit ton of people. Maybe at this point is past maximum overdrive, right? So I think, like, basically for them to say no alcohol, no this, all the bars are going to be full, all the clubs are going to be packed. No matter what, Shibuya is going to be taken care of. That's a given. But I think, I mean, do you know, there's like 40, was it 45 million tourists coming that's in Japan for 2020. They said 45 million tourists are going to come to Japan in 2020, 2024. I'm sorry, I'm kind of fucked up. So it's just like there's more than enough people that are here, more than enough people that like tourists that are here and stuff like that. They're past their limit. They're like, dude, we need help, dude. We don't need any. I mean, it's at the point where it's just gonna be like more trouble. Because I mean, there's been, dude, do you know how many bad things happened last year? Things that I don't even want to talk about and stuff, like the R word and shit, dude. Fucking like it was fucked up, dude. So the thing is, like, I think for like them to like move some of those people out is actually a good thing for Shibuya, because all those motherfuckers in the center of like fucking like Center Street, right? They're not buying anything. They're just there being like, woo, doing selfies and like maybe like touching boobies and shit, dude. That's probably what's happening. So they want it there. They want fucking people to spread out and stuff, right? So if people like spread out to like other stuff like Tokyo and shit, it's more controllable. I completely understand it.
I don't know. We will see. We shall see what we see. I guess.
We'll definitely see what happens. Shit. Well, fuck. Faders, on that note, we will see what happens when we see you next time. Faders, thank you very much for tuning into this special episode of Got Faded Japan. We wrapped it. Who knows whose fault it was? I mean, it's the fault of the evil spirits of the internet. So but Tom, I'm so happy that you came here tonight. I know you're really busy. You got a new job. Your kid's got his birthday coming up and stuff. We didn't even talk about that, by the way. We'll talk about that next time. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for staying up tonight. And faders, thank you so much for getting faded with us. And I hope you drank as much booze as I did tonight. Hell yeah, I fucking got lit. But it's my birthday week, so I'm supposed to get my fade on. So, yeah, thank you so much for that. And faders, we'll catch you next time. Oh, and be sure to tell a friend about Got Faded Japan, because the more people you tell, the better it is, because more people like start listening to the show. And the Instagram blowing up on Instagram. Did you know viral last week? Which I It's not here anymore. Anyway, faders, thank you